Hello, my name is Allison, and today I'm going to be talking about a few of the highlights of the LEA project I did for my Teaching English as a Second or Foreign Language course. Now, for the LEA, what I had to do is I had to provide an active experience, conduct the experience, talk about the experience, take dictation about the experience, reread the story with your student revising as needed, publish the text, reread the text, and then come up with an extension activity to do with the student. So for my experience, what I did was I took the student outside for recess, and I gave them a plastic bag, and I told them to pick what they wanted to eventually paint when we went back inside off the ground. Now this went decently well, except for the fact that some of the students' friends were kind of starting to take over and really wanted to help, but I was eventually able to get them to kind of step aside and let the student I was working with, be in charge. So after that, after recess was over, we went back inside, and then the student painted the objects that they picked off the ground, and they really liked painting them. And while they were doing that, I was describing the objects that they weren't going to paint, because we picked a bunch, and I was using my sensory words to describe them. And unfortunately, the student was very, very quiet, so it was very hard to get them to, talk and tell me the story of what we did. So, but I mean, I eventually got it done. I started asking them questions in Spanish, and they seemed way more responsive to that, even though I know for a fact that the student does speak English because I've worked with them previously, and they do speak English and are able to write in it as well. So that was, I was not quite expecting that. The student wasn't as, I knew they were quiet originally, but I didn't know that they would totally be like silent when talking about the experience. So that was, like I said, something I wasn't totally prepared for, but I think I did pretty well. I mean, I got the story, and the student's very artsy, so they really, really, really liked the painting, and they really liked to illustrate. And they did a very good job illustrating the story, as you can see in the folder that I put in this Google Drive. They really, really like to pay attention to the little details, and I thought they did a good job. And then for the extension activity, what I did was I read the story of the Giving Tree to them, and they liked that a lot as well. Because I know this, I picked the activity not just because I could find a book that was related to nature, but because I knew that this particular student, was a very good reader, or I should say is a very good reader. It's kind of why I chose, my mentor teacher and I chose them for this activity, but also because they love to read, and they love read alouds. So that was one of their favorite parts too, was besides the illustration and actually painting the objects, was listening to the story. And their favorite part was actually when the old man, the former boy, cut down the trunk and went to sail away, because she could the tree, she still had her heart. The student really liked that. And